tell you about a week I spent at the beach. There was sand, there was sun, there was amazing food. The entire thing was so good. My phone, fun fact, mostly was in my bag. And so while I was sitting there with my toes in the water, literally, my business kept running. Yeah. Leads were getting captured, people were getting followed up with, okay? The machine literally kept going. It was doing its job. It was taking care of the people who found me, and I wasn't touching any of them except for about 30 minutes. I did have to jump on my laptop for about 30 minutes, but that was pre planned. But I want to tell you, I did all of this and I wasn't touching anything. I came back to a business that had kept moving without me the entire time. Now, I'm not telling you this to brag. I'm telling you this because I want you to have the same thing, that exact thing, a business that keeps running when you step away. Because I got to tell you, that was the first time my family in that capacity had taken a trip like that, ever. And so today I'm going to show you that it's not a fantasy. It's not only for big players. And it's definitely not luck. It's structure. And you can build it. There's even a name for it. I call it scale freedom. I call it the scale freedom method. This is the path from a business that needs you for every single solitary thing to a business that runs without you. Not a personality trait, not a lucky break. And again, I don't believe in break, but just structure, purpose, things being built on purpose with purpose. This is going to be great. I'm Karena Calhoun. Let's talk about freedom. Let's talk about freedom. Welcome back to the table. Quick hello if you're new here. I'm Karena Calhoun. I am the founder and CEO of Warcry Consulting Solutions. I build business systems and automation for service-based business owners, the people who are brilliant at what they do, but buried under everything else that takes it to run. I am confidently, boldly introverted. I am not shy. I am not awkward. I am not timid. I am confidently bold and an introvert. Structure over hustle is my jam. So if you want, you can call me the structure over hustle evangelist. That's fine. And I'm very excited to be here talking to you all. If you've been rocking with me for any length of time, even if you just came on board and you just started sitting at the table with us in the last few weeks, you'll notice today is kind of a destination. Based on some of the things we've been talking about, today is a little bit of a destination because we've been on a journey. A few weeks back, we talked about overwhelm, how to stop trying to do everything and just start with one system. We talked about that. Then we talked about the loneliness of building and how you were never meant to do this thing alone. And today we arrive at the whole reason we do any of it, which is freedom. A business that runs without you. Time and revenue back in your hands. Because let's be honest, you didn't start a business to build yourself a job that you could never leave. That was not the point of it. But that's exactly what so many of us have accidentally done. We build a thing that depends on us. Every single breath of it depends on us. And then we can't step away from it without the whole thing coming to a grinding halt. Y'all, that's not freedom. That's a very stressful job that you've given yourself. So today we fix the whole problem. I want to show you what runs without you actually means. Why it's the entire point, and how you start building towards it. No matter where you are right now in this moment, we're going to start. So let's go, y'all. Let's go. Let me start by clearing up what I do not mean. Okay? Because there's this guilt reflex that kicks in for a lot of people the second I say a business that runs without you. And I want to get ahead of that. I do not mean a business that you neglect. I do not mean you checking out, you phoning it in to a friend, or not caring. That's not what we're talking about here. I do not mean replacing yourself with cold machinery so nobody gets a human anymore. That's not it at all. That's not what I'm talking about. Okay? Here's what I actually mean. A business that runs without you is a business where repeatable parts, the parts that don't require your specific brain and your specific heart in that moment, are handled by systems so that your brain and your heart are free to do the parts that actually need you. So it's not about caring less. It's about aiming for your care at what you actually love to do. Aiming your care at what you love to do, the thing that only you can do, and then letting structure carry everything else. See how just thinking about that allows you to, like, you can rest in that. Just a thought of that. So let's make this concrete. When someone finds you at 2 a.m, and I'm gonna be honest, I have bought things at 2 a.m. When someone finds you and they want something from you at 2 a.m, they fill out a form. Is it you personally that has to be awake to catch them? No, a system can catch them. A system can welcome them and start the relationship and do it beautifully while you're asleep. When someone books a call, do you personally need to remember to confirm it and remind them? No, a system does that flawlessly every time without you thinking about it. When a new client comes on board, do you personally need to manually send the same welcome email and the same next steps you've sent 1,000 times? No, a system delivers it consistently, warmly, instantly. Y'all, none of that is neglect. All of that is care delivered by structure instead of by your exhausted hands at 11 at night. And here's the beautiful part. Because the system does it every single time without getting tired or distracted or overwhelmed, your client gets a better experience, not a worse one. Nothing falls through the cracks. Nobody gets forgotten. The follow-up always happens. Structure, y'all, is more reliable than a stressed human being. And your people feel that reliability. So what does the freed up you do with all the reclaimed time and energy? Honey, feel that for a moment. You do the irreplaceable parts, the actual coaching, the actual creating, the actual service, the deep conversations, the strategic thinking, The parts of your business that are the reason you started it in the first place, and you stand and sit in your expertise. The parts that only you can do. That's where you belong, not buried in booking confirmations and reminder texts and copying and pasting same welcome messages for the thousandth time. That's the whole shift, y'all. That's the entire shift. A business that runs without you isn't a business you've abandoned. It's a business where you finally get to do your best and most important work and step away when you need. The same way, y'all, I stepped away because the machine underneath is handling the rest. That's not neglect. That's freedom. Freedom. If I could sing, I would sing freedom. But y'all don't want me to do that. And it's the entire point of everything that I build. Freedom is one of my values. So I offer it to the people who also have freedom as a value. Now, I want to show you that this is real. Let me tell you about the beach, okay? Let me tell you about the beach. It was amazing. So talking back to that week, I told you about it at the top of the show, right? We took a trip, and it was a great trip, right? And it was away from my desk, away from my usual routine. I had toes in the water, y'all. The beautiful clear water. I had my toes in the water. That kind of a way. And I'm going to be honest with you, for someone who has built my business in the span of 2 15-minute breaks and a lunch hour, and I tell that story all the time, while also helping to manage 4 corporate departments, stepping fully away does not come naturally. And if you've been in corporate, you know what I mean. There's a voice in the back of your head that says, if you're not watching it, it's going to fall apart. A lot of us have had that voice. Mine used to be loud. But here's the thing. Over the years, I've done the work. I've built the structure, piece by piece, one system at a time. I had to put the machinery in place so that it catches the leads, it follows up, it welcomes the people, it keeps things moving. So this trip became something more than a trip, y'all. It was something that I was able to build and live. It's proof of what I'm able to do. So if it were a test, it passed. While I was away, people still found me. The system caught them, welcomed them, followed up, started the relationship, all without me lifting a finger. Nobody got dropped. Nobody got forgotten. The business kept its promise to people while I kept my toes in that water. And I came home not to a pile of fires to put out, but a business that has simply kept running, kept doing its job, kept taking care of the people like it was supposed to without me being the middleman at every single moment and turn. I want to tell you that, it actually felt amazing, because the feeling here is the point, the feeling of freedom. And that's the proof of it. Proof that those 15-minute breaks in that lunch hour, what I built during that time, all of that structure, all of that is one piece at a time, and it works. It works, y'all. Even while working a very demanding job. And I can tell you that underneath the relief, there was something even bigger. There's possibility. Because if I could have this run without me for a week on the beach, then it can run for me while I'm attending a family event that I don't necessarily want to miss. It can run without me if I just want to take a quiet day to myself. Like the possibilities are endless. The freedom isn't just about that one trip, it's about every future moment that I get to actually be present for because the business no longer needs me to be chained to it. And I want to be really clear about something because I don't want you to really hear this as a flex. It is not a flex. I didn't do this overnight. I built it exactly the way I've been telling you to build all this time. One system at a time. Start with one, finish it, let it run, then the next. That trip wasn't the result of some, I don't know, heroic sprint. It was a result of taking time, steady, boring, one at a time structure, quietly compounding until one day I could walk away and the whole thing be held up and not break. So when I tell you a business that runs without you is possible, I'm not selling you a dream I read about. I'm telling you about a beach I sat on while my business took care of business. And I'm telling you that the road that got me there is a road that you're already on. You're already on it. If you've been doing the work these last few weeks that we've been sitting at this table, then you're already on it. Let me show you the pieces so you know exactly what you're building. All right, y'all know how we get down. Grab your pen, your paper, your notebook, your journal, whatever you need. So, what exactly makes a business able to run without you? I want you to think about that. Let me give you some layers to this. I'm going to walk you through these in the order I generally build them. So you can see the path and figure out where you are on it right now at this moment. There's 4 layers. Okay. 4 layers. Now, these 4 layers are the heart of what I call the scale freedom method. Each one takes something off your plate for good. But you got to dial in, y'all. You got to dial in. I'm going to give you all 4 layers, starting with layer 1. Layer 1 is capture. This is your front door. When someone discovers you and they're interested, is there a system that catches them automatically, immediately, whether you're awake or not, sitting at your desk or not, on your phone or not? Do they catch you? Or does it catch them? Get it right. Does it catch them? Is there a form, a page, a way for them to raise their hand that doesn't depend on you being there to notice their hand raised? If right now the only way someone can connect with you is by catching you personally, that's the first leak right there that you need to plug. Because every person who reaches out when you're busy, when you're asleep, when you're away and doesn't get caught is just gone. They're just gone. Capture makes sure nobody who's interested slips away. All right. So that's layer 1, capture. Layer 2 is going to be follow up. Follow up. Okay. This is the one that quietly makes or breaks a business. And it's the one people neglect the most, y'all. You miss 100% of the shots you don't make. Let me tell you, here's the truth. Most people don't say yes the first time. They say yes the 4th or 5th. Sometimes I've seen 10th or 11th time. After they've been reminded that you even exist. After they have been reminded that you can help them. And if your follow-up depends on you personally remembering to reach out to every single person at the right moment, it will not happen. You're too busy. You're human. You'll forget. We all forget. So follow up has to run on structure, a sequence that reaches out, it adds value, it gently reminds people, and keeps the relationship warm automatically on a schedule without you having to remember a thing. It's got to be able to do that. This one layer alone gives so many people back their revenue because it stops all those interested but not yet ready people from quietly disappearing. Then there's layer 3. We've already been through 1, which is capture. 2 is follow up. 3 is delivery and onboarding. When they do say yes, what happens next? Is there a smooth, consistent path that welcomes them, that tells them exactly what to expect and delivers those first steps the same beautiful way every single time? Is that happening? Or does every new client, oh my goodness, y'all, I need you to think about this. Does every new client mean you are scrambling to remember your own process and manually piecing together a welcome? When onboarding runs on structure, every client gets your best first impression, whether they're your first client of the month or your 50th, and you're not exhausting yourself trying to reinvent something every single time. Okay, so we talked about capture, follow up, delivery, and onboarding. 4 is going to be the ongoing rhythm. The reminders, the check-ins, the renewals, the little touches that keep clients happy and keep things moving. All of that keeps going, right? All the repeatable relationship maintenance that you currently hold in your head and hope you remember. Yeah, that's layer number 4. When that runs on structure, nothing falls through the cracks and you stop being the single point of failure. Yep, I didn't say contact, I said the single point of failure that your entire business depends on. Now, here's what I do not want you to do with this list. I do not want you to look at all 4 layers and feel that same overwhelm that we talked about a few weeks ago. Oh no, 4 whole things. I must be behind. Y'all know we look at something that people post or talk about and we think, well, I'm not doing that, or I don't have that, and I must be behind. That's what that's not what we're not doing. We're not doing that. We're not doing it. That is not the assignment. Remember the very first solo of this run. You start with one thing. So take these 4 layers and ask yourself one question. Which of these is leaking the most right now? The most. Where am I losing the most time, or the most people, or the most energy? That leak is your 1. That's your 1 that you start on. That's where you start. Maybe you've got great capture, but 0 follow-up. Then follow-up is your 1. Maybe you follow up fine, but onboarding is chaos every time. Then onboarding is your 1. You build the layer that's leaking the most. You finish it. You let it run. And then, just like I told you, start it at the start of the month, you begin to breathe. You begin to breathe. And then you build the next one. And a few systems down the road, Again, without that big sprint, you look up and you've got a business that can really hold itself together while you sit on a beach with your feet in the sand. Not because you did everything at one time, y'all. You can't do it at one time because you did one thing, then one thing, then one thing in the right order until the machine could stand on its own. That's the path. That's how the whole thing comes together. And it's the same path I walked. And so I'm sharing it with you. Now, I want to zoom all the way out real quick, just real quick, because I don't want you to miss why any of this actually matters. So we're going to zoom out a little bit. We don't build systems because systems are cool. Now, I do love systems. I love them, but that's not the point. We build them for one reason. And it's the thing I say at the end of everything. Everything. We build them so you get your time and your revenue back. That's the whole game, y'all. That's what all of this is in a nutshell. It's not efficiency just for the sake of it. It's your actual life. It's your life. Because think about what runs without you really buys you. What runs without you, that buys you something. It buys you, if it's a school event that you want to go to, you want to show up to instead of being chained to your laptop. It can buy you a trip where you've actually been present in that trip instead of anxiously checking your phone or your laptop or your iPad or your tablet or whatever. It buys you the morning that you get to keep to yourself, the dinner that you don't have to cut short, the person that you love who gets you fully without interruption. That fully present person, that fully present version of you, instead of the distracted, exhausted, half here version. It buys you the ability to rest, not feel guilty if maybe if sickness comes, or just to simply live without your income and your business collapsing the second you stop moving. That's not a small thing, y'all. That's everything. That's everything. That's the difference between a business that owns you and a business that you actually own. And here's what I need you to really hear, really, really hear, especially if you're tired right now, especially if this feels far, far away. You are not disqualified from this. You are not disqualified from this. It doesn't matter how small you are right now in your business. It doesn't matter how behind you feel, how many half-built things are on your plate. Every single business that runs without its owner today was once a business that depended on its owner for every single solitary stinking thing. Mine was. I built the whole thing, started building the whole thing. 15-minute breaks. My dad was ill, managing departments, trying to figure out a new marriage, a blended family. If that version of me could build toward a business that eventually ran without me on the beach, one system at a time in the cracks of an overwhelming life, just like the next person, then baby, you can do it too. So wherever you're starting from, with whatever time you've got, you can do it. The freedom is real. It's not reserved for the people with big teams and big budgets. No, it's available to anyone that's willing to build structure instead of chasing hustle, one system at a time. in the order that matters, steadily, patiently, without burning yourself down. You didn't start this to build yourself a prettier cage, because to be honest, that's what a lot of people are building now, a prettier cage. You started it to be free. So let's build a thing that actually sets you free. That's the whole point. That's what all of this has been for. That's what all of this has been for. So before I let you go, the doors are open and I'd love to have you at this table. If you've built something real, a story, a lesson, a hard-won wisdom piece that you want to share that would help the people that are listening, I want to talk to you. You don't need a huge following. You don't need it all figured out. You just need something honest and useful and the willingness to be real about it. Here's exactly how to apply. I need you to write this down. You can see up at the top, it's going by. The first step is go to podcast.warcry.com/listen. Warcry is WARKY. Podcast.warcry.com/listen. If you didn't get it, it's up here, it's scrolling at the top, but it's also going to be in the show notes, descriptions, wherever you can find it. It's going to be there for you. Step 2 is fill out that application. There's no fee, there's no charge. We just want to make sure we're a good fit for each other. If we're a good fit, you're going to get email saying, hey, go ahead and get scheduled for your episode. And we'll give you more information about it as we get to that point. But I would really love to be able to talk to you if you have a desire to come and sit at the table with us and share what you know, what you've learned. So we've come to the end of this little journey that we've been on this month. We relaunched this month, and I'm super excited that you're here. We started by learning to stop drowning in everything and start with one thing. Then we learned that we're never meant to build this by ourselves. And today we arrived at the whole reason for all of it, which is freedom, y'all. Freedom. A business that runs without you. Your time and your revenue back in your own hands. That's important. So here's what I want you to carry out of today. Look at your business honestly and ask which layer is leaking the most. Capture, follow-up, onboarding, or ongoing rhythm. Find the biggest leak. Make that your one thing. Build it, finish it, let it run, then breathe. Okay? Then you're going to build the next thing. And keep going, one steady piece at a time until one day you get to step away to the beach, to your kid's school event, the quiet morning that's just yours, maybe a cup of coffee, sitting in the sun. Your business keeps its promise to people without you having to be in the middle of every single moment. That's not a fantasy, y'all. I sat on the beach, it's real. And the road that got me there is the road that you're already on. And I am helping you along the way. That road has a name now for you. It's the Scale Freedom Method. The structure that runs your business day to day so you get your time and your revenue back. Not someday, not any old day, but you begin day by day to get your time and your revenue back. You build it on purpose, one piece at a time. You didn't start this to build a cage. You started it to be free. So go build that thing that sets you free. All right. I'm Karena Calhoun. This has been Go Be Great with Karena Calhoun. And until next time, you already know what to do. I will see you all on the flip side. Don't forget podcast.warcry.com/listen. I want to see you at the table. Talk soon.